So we'll talk a little bit about it. So it came out, it's really thick, really creamy. So. All right. Playing around with a new toy and trying to figure it out. So, hey, we made some sweetened, some keto condensed milk. Yeah. So, and a couple people on the video had asked if we could make a little video on how we made our condensed milk. So, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to show it to you. It's probably going to be a pretty short video. It doesn't take a long time to make. I should say it does take a long time to make, but it doesn't take a long time to make. So most of it is just stirring it while it's cooking, right? So I'm gonna go through there and we're gonna make that video, and let me turn this around and adjust it, and we're gonna go over to the stove behind me, and that's where we're gonna make the magic happen for this. All right. I know this is a weird angle, so show you from there. So I'm gonna take, this is 3 cups of heavy whipping cream. I'm gonna put that into a saucepan. I may have to go get another one. I have another one of these in. That's 1. That's 2. And let's go get the 3rd one. Hold on a second. Grab it. All right. Number 3. Now I'm going to make this a double batch because one and a half cups makes about equal to like a can, about 14 or 15 ounces of condensed milk. So I'm going to make 2 of these because we're actually going to make some Christmas desserts. And that's what we're going to use the condensed milk for. So I'm going to put that out of my way. And again, I know this is a really kind of a strange angle as I go through this. Now this is a Latana's sweetener. This is the powdered one. So I'm going to put in a half a cup of this in here. All right. Then from there, we're going to move over to some allulose. Allulose cooks really good. It cooks a lot like sugar. So I'm going to use some of this Nutribell allulose sweetener. And this I'm actually going to put in a whole. I'm going to put a half a cup of this into. I'm actually going to put a little more in. So the last time I made it, I wasn't happy. It didn't thicken up as much as I wanted. So I want to melt it down, and then I want it to have it to thicken up. So I'm going to throw a half a cup of this in there, and I'm going to throw a little extra in here, maybe 1/8 of a cup or so, just to mix it in a little bit more. And I'm going to whisk this together a little bit. I'm going to turn my burner on here. Now I'm going to start this on the front burner. I'm going to move it to the back burner just because the front burner, as low as I can get it to go, it's not low enough for me. So I'm going to turn it down low, get it started. I'm going to get this to come to a little bit of a boil around the edges, a nice simmer. That will take a few minutes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it back to that back burner and just put it on a really, really low simmer. And we're going to let that simmer for about 30 minutes. Keep stirring it, keep stirring it. This will cause some of the water that's in the cream, or some of the liquid, to evaporate while we're cooking it down. So that's all there is for this part of it. like I say, this will take a few minutes to come to a boil. It won't take too long. I don't want it to come to a rolling boil, like a heavy boil. I just want to get it to kind of simmer and boil a little bit. I can see the bubbles around the edges. So. Yeah, you really want to mix that, make sure that sugar powder is up really good. Now, if it doesn't thicken as much as you'd like to, you can always put in a little bit more allulose. Now, I will tell you later on when you put this in the refrigerator, you have to put it in the refrigerator. I find it best to leave it overnight. When I leave it overnight, it thickens up really nice. So.
Well, you have to wait like 3 to 4 days. And then
My wife said wait 3 or 4 days, and it actually thickens up even better. So.
waited a couple days,
Yeah.
3 to 5 days.
So yeah, we waited last time. It was about 3 days, I think, the time we made it to when we actually used it, and it actually came out thickened up really, really nice. Again, I put a little more allulose in it this time, so that I think it will thicken up a little faster and a little better with the allulose in it. Again, we don't want the cream to curdle. That's why we're trying to get this to go slow and easy. There's more ingredients that are going to go into this. You're going to see them at near the end. But right now we're just trying to get the heavy cream and the milk, the butter down, and to that allulose to melt down. So it's not granular. It's more of a liquid than. Again, it makes a great condensed milk. So if you have recipes in it that you were saying, well, I'd love to cook, but I can't cook because it has condensed milk in it, and I don't know how to substitute the condensed milk. This is a way to do it right here. So. All right, why don't I come back and I'll show you what it looks like once we get it going here. All right, so this is coming up to where I want to take it off the burner. You'll see it's starting to bubble here in a little bit in the middle and stuff. So at this point in time, and I can tell that it's getting to where I want to take it off, because it's going to start burning if I don't. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to start my back burner back here. I'm going to turn it down as low as I can go. I'm going to slow that one down, turn that one off. And all we're going to do now is we're just going to keep stirring this for the next 30 minutes. So I'm not going to make you stand here and watch me, but that's what I'm going to do. All right, so we're coming down to our last couple of seconds in this. I'm going to show you the next steps here. I set my timer. My timer has got 8 seconds left on it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. All right, so this has come up nicely. I said the biggest thing about doing all this is just keeping it moving, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some butter in this. So this is about 6 tablespoons of butter. Now it's off the burner. The burner is off. And then I'm going to let this melt in here. And I'm going to keep it stirring while I'm doing that. I gotta get the rest of the butter out here. I'm gonna break it into smaller pieces. It makes it easier to melt, right? So. All right, and we're just gonna keep moving this butter till it's all melted and it's all whisked in. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see what it looks like in there or not, but it's melting. It's getting there. And again, you want to make sure that this is mixed, and you want to keep stirring it and keep stirring it. Even after I get everything in it, I keep coming back to it every once in a while and keep stirring it just to keep everything mixed. I don't want the butter and the cream and everything to separate. I want it all to stay mixed together. So even once I put it in the refrigerator, I'll go back after an hour or so, and then every couple hours, and stir it again. And I may do it again in the morning when I get up, just to make sure everything has stayed mixed. All right, so to me that looks like all the butter is melted. So now I'm going to put some thickening agent in there. So I'm going to use some xanthan gum. I know people don't like it, but it works in this. I don't find that I can taste it and or feel it in there. Now this is a tablespoon in here. I'm going to keep whisking it while I'm adding it, because I want to really make this mix in well. And then you really want to make sure that you're mixing this in there good. You know, all the clumping and everything else, you want to get it down. And I'm just going to keep mixing this until I'm happy with it. So that's all there is to it. And then I'm going to pour it in this bowl. Once it cools, I'm going to pour it in this bowl. And then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator overnight. And I can tell you right now, it's not mixed good enough, because I can still see some of that xanthan gum on the top. So, all right, you don't need to watch me. I'm just going to mix this up. I'll come back and I'll show you once it's cooled what it looks like. And watch it going into the pan. All right. All right, it's in the bowl now. We took it out. It's still really hot, so we're not going to put it in the refrigerator or anything yet. But that's the consistency of it right now. You'll see. It will thicken up a lot once it cools down and we get it in the refrigerator. So, well, it looks good. Looks creamy. We also got our sous vide cooker cooking up some chicken breasts for us for dinner. So, a lot going on in the kitchen tonight. All right, so here is what it looks like. So we'll talk a little bit about it. So it came out, it's really thick, really creamy. So we'll talk a little bit about, I made a mistake when we were making it. I'll show you what it is. But that's the way it looks. So it's not too bad. I'm happy with it. So, all right, let's turn this around and I'll tell you my mistake, and and notice, if you notice, it went into a different bowl and everything. So, all right, so it came out pretty good. I mean, overall, it wasn't bad. You'll notice it's in a bigger bowl. I actually added some other liquid to it, because what I did was when I doubled the recipe, it was a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. I put a whole teaspoon in there, which caused it to solidify way too much. So I added more heavy cream into it to get it to loosen up. So not too bad. I mean, so we will use it, and we have more to use. That's all I can say. So I will work up the recipe and write it and put it on the website. So if you want to see it, you can. I also got this little cool little device that makes it so I can see my cell phone and record it. It actually sticks to the back of the cell phone, but it's pretty cool. So just a little toy to play with. So but anyway, that's how to make it. Really simple and easy, quick. Just be careful with the xanthan gum and how much you put into it. So, all right. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. You give it a thumbs up. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel. Love to get to that 9,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So do me a favor, do me a solid, and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helped me out a lot. So, all right. I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys are awesome.